You finally get a break. You sit down. You tell yourself to relax. And instead of feeling better, you feel worse. The guilt creeps in, the restlessness, the nagging sense that you should be doing something else. You wanted to unwind, but now you're just uncomfortable. And the longer you try to relax, the more anxious you become. It doesn't make sense. Relaxation is supposed to help, but somehow it's making everything harder. And you start to wonder if you've forgotten how to rest. But that's not what's happening. Your brain isn't broken. It's just not ready to let go. Most people think relaxation is a switch. You decide to stop working, and your body follows. If it doesn't, the problem must be you. Maybe you're too stressed. Maybe you're too wired. Maybe you just need to try harder to calm down. But relaxation doesn't work that way. It's not something you can force. And when you try to force it, your brain resists. Your nervous system has two modes. One is active and alert. The other is calm and restful. And you can't just jump from one to the other because you decided it's time. Research shows that your body needs a transition period, a space between doing and resting where your nervous system can gradually shift gears. Without that transition, trying to relax just creates tension. Here's what's actually happening. You've been working for hours. Your brain has been focused. Your body has been alert. Stress hormones are still circulating in your system. Then you stop. You sit on the couch. You tell yourself to relax, but your brain is still running. It's still holding on to the tasks you didn't finish, the emails you haven't sent, the problems you haven't solved. You're physically still, but mentally you're still working. And that disconnect is what makes you feel worse. Your brain doesn't know you're trying to rest. It just knows there's unfinished business. And when you sit still while your brain is still activated, it interprets that as a problem. Something is wrong. You should be doing something. So it sends signals, restlessness, guilt, urgency. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your body and mind are out of sync. And here's what makes it harder. The more you try to force yourself to relax, the more your brain treats it as another task, something you have to do, something you have to succeed at. You start monitoring yourself. Am I relaxed yet? Am I calm? Why isn't this working? And that monitoring keeps you in the active mode you're trying to escape. This is why scrolling your phone doesn't actually help you relax. You think you're resting because you're sitting still, but your brain is still processing, still reacting, still engaged. It's not true rest. It's just distraction. And distraction doesn't give your nervous system permission to shift gears. Here's what it looks like in real life. You finish work, you're exhausted. You sit down to watch something, but you can't focus. Your mind keeps drifting back to what you didn't finish. You feel guilty for resting because part of you believes you don't deserve it yet. You haven't earned it. There's still too much left undone. Or you finally take a day off, and instead of feeling refreshed, you feel anxious. Because now you're behind. Now you have to catch up. And the break that was supposed to help just made things worse. That's not a failure to relax. That's your brain doing exactly what it's been trained to do. Stay alert, stay productive, stay ready. Now here's the uncomfortable part. The culture you live in doesn't support real rest. It values constant productivity, constant availability, constant motion. Rest is treated as a luxury, something you earn after you've done enough. And even when you do rest, you're expected to optimize it, make it productive, use it to recharge so you can work harder. But rest isn't a tool for productivity. It's a biological need. And when you treat it like another task to complete, it stops working. Your brain can't relax when it's being evaluated. It can't let go when it's being monitored. And it definitely can't shift into a restful state when you're judging yourself for not relaxing fast enough. This doesn't mean relaxation is impossible. It doesn't mean you're too damaged or too stressed to rest. And it definitely doesn't mean you should give up on trying. It just means relaxation takes time. It's not instant. It's not something you can schedule and execute. It's something that happens when your brain finally feels safe enough to stop. You feel worse after trying to relax, not because you're doing it wrong, but because your brain hasn't caught up to your body yet. It's still in work mode, still scanning for threats, still holding tension, and forcing it to stop before it's ready just creates more tension, more resistance, more discomfort. That's not your fault. That's not a sign you've lost the ability to rest. It's just a sign that your nervous system needs more than a few minutes to believe the work is actually over. You're not broken. You're just living in a world that expects you to switch off instantly. And your brain, doing what it was built to do, refuses to cooperate because real rest doesn't happen on command. It happens when you finally stop demanding it.